Editors in Combo. I am Katie Hofstetter. I'm a rep at Herb Jones, and I am so excited that I get to talk with some of our awesome students who used to be editors and now have gone on, and they're doing all sorts of awesome things with their lives. And they have so much just good nuggets and tips and tricks to share with us all. So today I have Shannon with me. So Shannon, hi, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hello, Katie. Thank you so much for having me. So my name is Shannon Worley. I am currently a sophomore at the University of Missouri-Columbia. And previously I went to Lafayette High School in Wildwood, Missouri, which is a little suburb outside of St. Louis. But I was on the Legend Yearbook. I joined my sophomore year of high school and was on staff for a semester before becoming editor-in-chief. And then I was editor-in-chief my junior and senior year of high school. And really that was just an incredible experience. My senior year of high school, we got inducted into the NSPA Hall of Fame, which was just really special and really rewarding. And now currently I'm at Mizzou studying journalism with an emphasis in cross-platform editing and producing with minors in social justice and human development and family science.
Okay, so just, like not a lot of things. You're just, oh my
Just
God.
a little bit of everything.
That is so cool. I love that. I too loved Yearbook, maybe too much, okay? And so I wanted to do that as a future too, and ended up studying that in college. So I love that. One thing I know about the staff at Lafayette is that they had such good camaraderie between editors and staffers, and just between different personalities in general. So tell me a little bit about how, as an editor, you managed that staff culture and had everybody working together so well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, going into my first year as editor, I knew I wanted to prioritize cultivating a welcoming and positive environment on staff. And I really wanted it to be a safe place where people felt valued and free to be whoever they wanted to be. But I also wanted it to be a team that people felt excited to contribute to, because I knew we wouldn't be able to create good content that we were proud of unless people were all equally motivated to do so. So right off the bat, I just kind of established a couple of different traditions. First off, we did a lot of staff bonding. We worked hard, but we also played hard. One of my personal favorites was we did riff-offs, kind of like Pitch Perfect style, but we separated everybody off into teams and then had a category, and then we didn't match the words like they did in Pitch Perfect, but we just went around and everybody just was singing and dancing and having a really good time. So that was something that my staff loved. And then another thing was we did different personality tests, which I really enjoyed, because we got to know each other and got to know who was similar and who was different. It was kind of fun to joke around and be like, oh, you're such a blue, or that kind of thing. But it also helped me as an editor to kind of get to know my staff. Which leads me to the next thing. I really prioritized establishing a relationship with every member of my staff, just because I knew it would be worth it in the long end. It definitely took a little bit of time because my staff was a little bit big, but I thought it was really important to really make sure everyone felt valued and appreciated, because they are a staff member and a journalist, but first and foremost, they are human. And so I really wanted to get to know them on that more intimate level, so I'd be able to help them with whatever was going on and be more empathetic and understanding as things came up. And then another thing I tried to do is just really celebrate individuals for who they were, and as a staff member and as a person, as things outside of the yearbook room. So just being involved in my staff members' lives, and whether it was scoring a big goal at the soccer game this past weekend, or something like that, we made sure to celebrate those little victories. And also more yearbooky, we did paper plate awards, which was kind of just awarding people who had really strong stories and really strong spreads after each cycle. And so that was just celebrating two really strong staff members. And then we also did photo of the week, because we had staff photographers and kind of everyone was responsible for taking pictures. And so we kind of highlighted a different photographer every single week on our staff Instagram. So that was another thing we did to kind of celebrate.
That's really cool. I like that you got to know them personally, and it wasn't just about the work they were doing, but it was about the person they are. We care more about how you are than what you're doing, which I think is a really good foundation to a staff that works well together. How did not just you as the editor, but the other editors on staff, did you guys, did you have teams where they reported to certain editors, or how was your staff laid out so you were able to have that open communication?
Yeah, for sure. So we broke up into, I think, like 4 or 5 different sections, depending on the year and how the yearbook was kind of organized. But we had a couple different sections with either 1 editor or 2 editors in charge of each section. And so they were able to kind of really invest in their own staff and then report back to me. And I was able to then invest in everybody. So that, so that really, I think, helped just to kind of create a really strong foundation for our entire staff culture.
That's really, really great. I think that's important too. Sometimes I see like the editors will sit at their editor's table on their editor's computers and not really, talk or communicate much with the staffers, but really that needs to be a relationship where, they're intermingled so they feel like they can come to you and have that open line of communication. I feel like that's what helps build that good culture.
Absolutely. And then since we did have those different sections, I also made a special effort to really invest and support my editors of those sections, because I knew that was a lot of responsibility for them too. And can kind of be a little emotionally taxing sometimes being a leader of a group. And so we had weekly or bi-weekly editor meetings as well to kind of just check in with them and just check in on their staffs too, which I think also really helped to kind of go back to home base and kind of center everybody.
That's awesome. Well, I think that's a really, really good tip and piece of knowledge that not just our editors, but anybody who's on yearbook staff can take back with them and use this year to help make their yearbook staff even more cohesive. So Shannon, I'm going to ask you one last question before you leave us today. And that's kind of, I want to know, like, what is the most important takeaway that you had from your years on yearbook staff?
I think my biggest takeaway was just to kind of meet people where they're at. Everybody has something to offer, and if you take the time to get to know that unique skill or special trick that person has, you will make the best possible product you can. So it's really worth it just to slow down and take the time to invest in each person and kind of figure out what they have to bring to the table.
That's awesome. Well, Shannon, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy college, journalism, and a million major minor life to chat with us today. I know that it'll be super helpful for our staffs, and I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me.